Hi guys. I was just taking this time between Christmas and New Year's to just play and decide what I want to do in my artwork, and I've been getting organized a little bit, and I have all these scrap pieces of paper, and I decided that I was going to use them up and make some focal points. A lot of times I'll sit down and I'll do this, and then I'll either cut them out or use them whole, but I have this whole pile of things like this that are ready to just put on. So like if I'm doing a 5-minute warm-up or like the 5-minute challenge, then I can just paint my base and do some marks and then cut out one of these as a focal point, and I'm done. So it's kind of fun, and I came upon this technique a long time ago, and I thought I'd share it with you. But I just have this palette of colors, which I'll show you my palette of colors at the end of the video. And I have this little scruffy kind of, it was started out as a round brush, but it's just kind of scruffed up. And I have this palette of colors that I laid out for something else, so I'm just using them up. And what I do is I'll take my brush and I'll dip it in color. Like here I started with some warm colors, and I have like orange and flesh and yellow and white. I have just a wide variety, but I decided to go with the more warm colors for this particular piece. And this is just a paper I've been wiping my brush off on. And so I took my, as you can see up in the right, I have some old book pages that I have, and these book pages are so delicate that you can just pick them up and they flake off. So I do the flowers on them, and then I can cut out around them and discard the rest. But I just use all my scrap pieces that I've written on, pieces that I've wiped my brush on. And the technique I use is to load up this brush with paint, and then I roll the brush onto the paper. And then that's how I make the petals, by just rolling the brush around. And you'll see it more with another one that I do. But on this one, I just dab, but as I dab, I'm rolling that brush and pulling it down to kind of a little bit of a point. Then I'll add more colors, and like if I added the light peach, then I'll pick up orange to mix in with it, and you see more of a definition of colors, which makes it look like a definition of petals. And then here you see I'm really using that, and that's the way I clean out my brush on paper. So I figure I might as well just clean it out as I'm going, and I never put it in water unless I want to thin out the paint a little bit. I just keep adding color. I went from the oranges and the fleshy tones and adding white, and then I picked up some yellow and I rolled it. And I just keep going like this, rolling colors, picking up colors, adding them to my paper. And then I can go straight from the orange and into the peachy colors, and then I pick up pinks, and then I go with pinks and reds. And all these colors can blend on paper and look good. And that's how you get a really nice variation of color. And then when you want to do centers or do shadows, then you can go into your reds and your dark blues and colors like that. And then when you go into your reds and dark blues, you can roll your brush in some green or yellow to get green. And they're not bright colors, and they're not always clean colors, but I still like them. I even like the muddy colors for this. Here I'm rolling my brush. Now I've sped this up 2 times, so it's faster. This whole process took me about 17, 18 minutes to do all these papers. But here I'm going into my dark reds. And this is a paper that I was trying out some. I had some really old pens of my dad's, and that have just the nibs in the holder, and I was just trying them out, and seeing which ones were still viable. Some of them have gotten stiff or messed up, and so anyway, I was just having fun on that page, so I just picked that up to add some paint onto. But this is a great way to do flowers, and I'm not looking at any reference photos or anything. You just roll your brush around and keep picking up different colors. And then if you do just the little dabs, those are the buds. And I just try to fill up my scrap paper, and then I either end up cutting around them, or I will take a neutral color and paint around and paint out the extra chaos around the flower if I want to use the whole thing. So then you'll have a whole pile of papers that you can use for anything you want as you go, or like if you have a challenge or something. It's really nice to have a stack of this stuff, and then you don't have to really think too much about what you're going to do. You just have to make a background that kind of goes with it, or a neutral background, and cut out your flowers and lay it down. You could do little houses, you could do anything this way. But the rolling of your brush really makes really pretty flowers. And another thing I don't do is I don't carry my stems all the way to the next flower. So that way I'll have some space if I want to cut out around those individually, instead of making it one picture. And then also roll for the leaves. You can just roll and pull your brush to a point. So you roll, do your little tip, pull it out at the end. Now I think I did add a little water to the tip of my brush just so that I could see there. I'm cleaning my brush there. Cleaning my brush so I can go into different colors by just smashing it into the page and pulling it down. Excuse my compression gloves. I forgot I even had them on. It's raining today, so my arthritis is acting up. But you do just little dabs at the end of your buds. Pull out somewhat of a stem. Don't go all the way to the next flower. Leave room around them so that if you want to cut out, you can do that. This is my palette. And this is the end result of the bigger pieces. Thanks.